right, good morning. Feel free to take a seat. I am Frank Fernandez. I am the President and CEO of the Community Foundation for Greater Atlanta, and thank you for joining us here at Academy Lofts in Adair Park on this lovely day here in Southwest Atlanta. This is a beautiful mixed-use, mixed-income community. I just got a tour earlier. It's a old school that got converted, and we thought it was really appropriate to be here because this is emblematic of why we're here and what we want to be able to do going forward more and more. So I'm pleased to be here with our friends at the City of Atlanta to be announcing an unprecedented multi-million-dollar private commitment to affordable housing that we believe will help transform housing affordability in our region. The challenges of affordable housing are well documented. Today, more Atlantans need affordable housing that is available. 3/4 of Atlantans are spending almost half of their monthly income on housing. And because of the market conditions and projections that we know, this challenge is only going to get worse. Today, we have a window of opportunity to really address this. We're at an inflection point. We have an opportunity to help change the trajectory of what is possible around affordability in our community. Because we know that housing instability leads to instability in every other aspect of your life. Where you live affects where you work. How much you pay towards rent affects how much other money you have available for things that matter: food, healthcare, transportation. However, when you get housing right, you set the foundation for really giving individuals and families in our community a real shot at prosperity. That is why affordable housing is a foundational pillar for us at the Community Foundation, and that is why I believe it is such a high priority for the mayor and his administration. The Community Foundation and the City of Atlanta have a long and proven track record of helping make things happen for our community. Together, we helped resolve and support Grady Hospital. Together, we helped ensure that the MLK papers stayed here in our community. And together over the last several years, along with many of the folks here, we helped address the challenges and help folks in our community weather the COVID pandemic. And today, we are here together to celebrate and announce a $100 million commitment from the Whitehead and Woodruff Foundation to the Community Foundation's Affordable Housing Plan to produce and preserve thousands of units of affordable housing in our community. We are deeply appreciative of the significant partnership and confidence from our friends at Woodruff, and we are deeply appreciative of the mayor for creating an environment that allows us to go big and make a real difference. Over the next few minutes, you will hear more about this plan and this commitment and what happens when you take care of housing, the thing upon which everything else is built. So, with that, I want to bring up my colleague, Sarah Kirsch, who's our Managing Director for Housing Funds, to tell you a little bit about the plan and this commitment.
Excellent. Thank you, Frank.
Let's clap for her.
Oh, it is really remarkable to be here with all of our partners. Incredibly grateful for this commitment. As Frank said, the challenges around affordability are well documented. We know we have a shortage of housing in this country, in this state, in this region, in this city. We have a dearth of affordable housing, and it is making too many things too hard for too many people. And so as the Community Foundation is investing with our partners in this foundational piece of healthy communities. We're just thrilled to help share a little bit about how we see that coming to life. With the funds that we steward, we've developed a strategy around 3 Ps: policy, programs, and production. We know that policy change, working across all levels of government, is essential for the long-term systems change we need, so we're not addressing this problem in the same way year in and year out. We need programs well-funded to address the needs of everyday Atlantans, who it may be after-school programs to make sure that folks are thriving in place. It may be home buyer readiness, but we need those people-facing programs that are going to make a difference today in folks' lives. But we have this opportunity, this window of opportunity that Frank alluded to, that we think we can really move the needle with significantly increased production and preservation of affordable housing. There's a market timing that we think we can change the trajectory of our city and ensure that it truly is that promise of being a city for all. So these funds, this $100 million commitment, really will be focused on production and preservation. It will serve this full strategy, but we are about making sure that there are homes available that are affordable for families, for seniors, for folks who live here and need to have opportunity to stay here. I hope I'm not stealing his line, because we all know that the mayor talks about Atlanta as a group project, right?
I'm gonna say it.
Okay.
You got it. You gonna say it too.
You know, you don't want to steal the mayor's line, right? But it's true, and it's particularly true in this housing affordability space. We have this collaboration, this ethos of collaboration, and it shows up in all the partners who are here today. Housing is an all-hands-on-deck moment that takes putting all of the pieces together to build affordable and attainable housing and to have thriving, inclusive communities. But it is exceptionally hard work, right? For the nonprofits, for the mission-driven for-profits, for the community development organizations represented, for the committed boards who wake up every day trying to advance the mission of their organizations, it is hard work. And it is made harder by lack of dedicated, flexible funding. And so that is what these funds are designed to be: dedicated, flexible funds. For those of you who've been on this journey for a while, I see Natalie of House ATL over there. A group of us came together some 6 years ago and said, on the private sector side, we need 2 things. We need social impact funds to provide regular, recyclable, low-cost loans that partners can count on, plan for, and scale their organizations to meet the demand. And we need philanthropic support for deeper and longer terms of affordable housing to support those with the greatest need. And that is what we are doing here today. We're here. We've made this tremendous down payment on that need with this commitment from Woodruff and Whitehead. It's just the beginning, but it's a real exciting moment in terms of coordination across sectors and new funding sources to the table. I'll share a little bit about the how, just for those who are interested in terms of priorities of this commitment. One is to help unlock publicly owned and otherwise dormant land that we can put to use productively to make stronger, healthier, more affordable communities. The second is to help incentivize our housing system towards longer-term affordability. I saw Amanda with the Land Trust earlier. That's an incredible resource for ensuring longer-term affordability, and that we're making those investments now to serve generations in the future. To ensure we're protecting and enhancing the affordable homes we have, having capital infusions to make sure that existing affordability can stay and it can be stable, safe, thriving communities, and to truly meet the housing needs of all Atlantans. I'm thrilled to be here today. It's grossly exceeded my expectations, and thrilled to be part of this ecosystem working towards a stronger and more affordable Atlanta. And with that, I will pass it back to Frank.
So before I introduce the mayor, I also want to echo that this issue is truly a group project. And I just want to lift up a lot of the partners that are here, because today would not be possible without the for-profits, the nonprofits, the funders, public sector, private sector, nonprofits, philanthropy, again, all working together, because it is truly a group project. One of the things when we've been working closely with our friends at Woodruff for over a year on this investment. And one of the things I want to lift up, because you're going to hear from, I will not steal the mayor, something's going to be, they'll be making their announcement, is that they wanted their investment to be a catalyst. They wanted it to get more and more people off the sidelines and to the table. So I will tell you, their $100 million commitment is significant. However, as the mayor and his team know, this is a multi-billion-dollar challenge for our city and our region. And so this is a great initial down payment, and we need to leverage it more and more, and we've got to get more and more funders and others engaged with us. We're in the process of trying to raise $200 million of private capital, both philanthropic and impact investment. We're about 132 towards that 200. And so we are actively looking for many other funders to engage, private funders especially, with us in this project, because it's only, again, in working together that we can do that. But in order to do that, you have to have leadership and commitment from your elected leaders. And I'm very excited to turn it over to our mayor, who has demonstrated tremendous leadership on this issue of affordability, and will be demonstrating that with his own historic announcement. Mayor.
All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you, Frank and Sarah, for those remarks you made earlier. I was standing here and I was thinking about how if your love language is affordable housing, because that's what Courtney and I don't know who stole whose line. I think I stole that one from Courtney. Our love language is affordable housing, and you believe that Atlanta is a group project, then your heart flutters in this room. All of the people, or most of the folks that contribute to the affordable housing landscape in this city are in this pavilion right now. Your commitment, the things that you've done and that you will do and that you talk about each and every day, is why this group project and why this love language is actually on display right now. There are organizations here. We have federal administrators of HUD, the regional administrator Alvarez and Tiffany Cobb are here from HUD. Of course, we have our city council president and city council members throughout this pavilion, Shipman and I see Westmoreland back there, and then we have Lewis and Winston and Dozier, and they're all spread out. Y'all supposed to make the mayor's job easy. And whoever else is out there. And then, the chief of staff, the chief operating officer, deputy chief operating officer, the chief procurement officer, the senior director of youth engagement and youth programming, Year to Youth, Josh Humphreys. All these folks here care deeply about affordable housing, including Atlanta Police Department, Atlanta Fire Rescue Department, that are also here. This group project is on display. Also, Atlanta Community, the Land Bank and the Land Trust, and our other deputy COO, and our chief financial officer, they care, and our city attorney, they care about, and the Department of Public Works is here, and Fulton County Rec Authority is here. They're going to be involved in this group project of affordable housing building, and of course, Invest Atlanta is here, who is a huge part of our engine. And the developers are here, right? Our affordable housing developers, nonprofit developers, for-profit developers, wannabe developers, used to be developers, see $100 million, say I'm going to be a developer again. and our Commissioner of Constituent Services is here, which is important because sometimes, and I got notes, but when it's your love language, you're gonna speak it. And so there are individuals that show up at City Hall with all of their belongings in bags, and they go to Greg Clay's office, the Office of Constituent Services, and they're like, I don't know what to do. I don't got nothing else. And now, with $100 million and plus more, and plus what we have here at the Adair School that Stan Sugarman and others have really worked hard to get up, we have places to send them. This group project is on display, and it's meaningful, and it matters. And so I'm grateful for what we have here. And so from my days on the Atlanta City Council, I've always been about affordable housing and how we get to this point. It's a problem that we can solve. As Frank said, this is a multi-billion-dollar project. So the announcement we're making today is down payments and support towards that. But we need more. So when you hear the names of the people that we're calling and the organizations that are putting in, you too can put in. So banks that are out there and wealthy individuals and philanthropy that wants to do more, we need more. But today we're going to announce about this, and this is a time that requires bold and unprecedented actions to be able to solve this part of our group project. I took office and committed to building or preserving 20,000 units of affordable housing by 2030. And I see Atlanta Housing here. Larry Stewart, the chairman of Atlanta Housing, and Sarah's on the board too. They know this group project and this commitment that we're making. 20,000 units have to be built, y'all, or preserved by 2030. We have delivered nearly 2,000 units already, with another 5,600 units that are either funded or under construction right now. So that's a lot that we've done quickly together. But the truth of the matter is we have to move faster and we have to do more. So we can't just stop at the 2,000 plus the 5,600. So City Council and my administration have created and funded the beloved Community Housing Trust Fund, the most flexible and sustainable funding source for affordable housing in Atlanta's history. Since 2007, the city has issued 3 housing bonds, and the investments have paid massive dividends. And I was a part of one. Matt Westmoreland led one, and we were too young to lead the other one back in 2007. I'd like to join Matt in age, even though I'm about 50 years older than him. So we are making incredible progress together. But Atlanta families who desperately need affordable housing, they want us to speed up. They want us to do more. We have no time to waste. And that's why today I'm announcing that my administration plans to work with the City Council to pass legislation to authorize an additional $100 million bond on top of this $100 million that Frank just spoke about. That's $200 million. That's that good APS math. So, thank you to all of the city council members. Yesterday, we introduced the legislation with them, and all council members present signed on to it. This is going to be monumental. Thank you, council members. And so, Sarah kind of gave a little bit of what the funding that came from Whitehead Woodruff through the Community Foundation is going to be used for. So together, these funds will immediately be put to work on laser-focused projects in a 3-part strategy: expediting the development of affordable housing on publicly owned land, preserving affordability where it already exists with infusions of subsidies to provide safe and dignified, high-quality housing, and securing much-needed resources for new affordable housing developments that are already actually in the pipeline, but they have funding gaps to help them deliver. We are ready to go to work on this, and it's a holistic plan with a high impact goals and a program. Across the city, there are several, more than a dozen shovel-ready, affordable, and mixed-income housing developments that have been held up by rising construction costs, as you all know, as well as rising interest rates. Over the last year, interest rates have just massively increased. So folks are sitting there with shovel-ready projects, but they can't move forward because interest rates are so high. So we have to infuse some additional capital to get those done. They just need a little extra to help fill those gaps. By carefully selecting where to invest these funds, we can help those promising projects get delivered. In terms of public land, our multi-agency affordable housing strike force has spent the last year advancing more than 30 projects on publicly owned land. Several of these projects are ready to go, and this funding that we're talking about today will help to expedite their delivery. And in other cases, these funds will be used to provide resources that will make these even more financially viable. We will work with city partners, that includes the Atlanta Housing, I saw Marta here, to both create and preserve affordability in high opportunity neighborhoods. We're also extending the new services and amenities to neighborhoods that need them most. Our strategy focuses not just on new construction, but preserving affordability where it currently exists. And so, Class C properties. These are properties that are already in the marketplace. They're getting old. There are 40,000 units of Class C apartments in this city. that need some TLC. And if we provide it, then we also can preserve the affordability versus them going to market rate and being unaffordable. So that's important. So we're going to work with existing owners in good faith. Now, we also work with existing owners that don't want to do the right thing. And we make sure that we have provision for that right now, that if you are providing properties that are not safe, that are not habitable, we are coming to have a conversation with you on that. But those of you that want to go forward with your Class C properties and want this investment to bring them up to code, to make sure that we can preserve affordability, we are your ally and supporter there. So this is just the start, but it's an ambitious one. Atlanta, as stated by everybody on this stage today, Atlanta is a group project, right? We know that, guys. This is important. We can't do this alone, and we need to meet this moment with the help of our partners throughout the city. And to that end, again, we are thankful for the Woodruff Foundation and Whitehead in partnership with the Community Foundation of Greater Atlanta to make that contribution, that landmark contribution of $100 million of philanthropic and impact capital. We are immensely grateful for them to transform the scale and the pace of the affordable housing group project that we are in. And I remember last year I spoke to the philanthropic community. We had a big event, and some of you were in that room, where we talked about what our goals were: building and preserving 20,000 units of affordable housing and early childhood education and contributions towards youth development. We said there's a lot of things that we need in this city, but I'm coming to the philanthropic community saying, you have to help us in these areas. No longer is it pie in the sky, just any old thing. These are the things we need your help in. And I'm thankful that they stepped up in both of those areas of group project. Russ Harden went to his board. We had a one-on-one with them and talked about it. And Woodruff said, we're in. And they gave $100 million, guys. And then also the early childhood education, we set a goal of $20 million, and we hit that already. And so this leadership in this group project today, I feel good, right? You can probably tell that I'm talking longer than y'all thought I was going to talk. So that's on me, but y'all got to get that today because I feel good. This is an opportunity for us that we will seize with urgency, all right, with all of your help. And I'll tell you that we're standing on grounds that we did already as a group project. What you're looking at here is the first project that we did in the Atlanta Public Schools. What do we call it? The Affordable Housing Task Force that we did. Am I stealing what you're going to talk about?
It's all you.
We should have looked at notes. We spend every day together all day. But this had a tree in the middle of it. This was an old school. Stan Sugarman and company and team said we can do something with this. And we went to work to do an adaptive reuse, to turn this school into affordable housing, into artist lofts where artists can display their works and be able to live here, and individuals that are experiencing homelessness or a shortfall in income and ability to, they got more month than money, put it that way. They can come here. And so this is a group project as well. And I'm just thankful that when we talk about stuff, you get to see the stuff. You get to see the stuff. This all ain't just talk. This $200 million is going to make many, many more of these, whether in a Adair Park neighborhood or on Moreland Avenue in Reynoldstown or in Cascade or in Buckhead or wherever it's going to be on the east side, the west side, the north side, the south side. With $200 million, we're coming to a neighborhood near you. All right? And to that end, I want to introduce a friend. Can I introduce her? Miss Freeman? That's next up, right? I mean, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to introduce you, Ms. Freeman. So, can I do that? So, she lives here. She didn't before she did. And now she does, so she's my friend, and I met her. And her life has changed. I met her at a tough time in her life. Her husband had just passed away, correct? They weren't living in housing. Now she is. And so when we do these group projects together, you see the buildings, but you're about to see the life that you impact. And so I want to give the floor to somebody who's a friend and somebody whose life has changed, but also somebody who gives these people hope to do something today that changes another life. Ms. Freeman.
Hi, my name is Tonette Freeman. I'm from Indiana and Tennessee and now Georgia. I was homeless. Me and my husband was homeless for like 17 years. And he passed away in 2021. And I'm sorry. He never got a chance to make it. Before we got the place, he passed away. And I'm just thankful for the program. Because I don't know what I would have done if they wouldn't have helped me. I don't think I would have probably made it. And I've been here for 2 years. And I'm thankful. I really am. I just so emotional because I was out there. I was out there. And just didn't know what to do. Until the program came and they just took us aboard. And I'm just thankful. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. We're happy.
This program is really helpful. I'm so grateful and thankful. I mean, I love it.
You love you?
I love
And you
it.
got a new pavilion to hang out in. That's all right.
Every time I just go out the doors, I smile when I come back. I got a place to come home to. I don't have to be out in the streets no more. It's wonderful. So, with that, thank y'all.
Thank you.
And I got to go after the deacon and after Miss Freeman. And one thing I'll tell you, the mayor is not only is he showing improvement right here, when I got here this morning, the first person he wanted me to speak to was Miss Freeman. When I shook his hand, he said, "Do you know Miss Freeman? I want you to meet Miss Freeman. This is your council member." And so that shows the person he is. So I want to give another round of applause to the man leading the group project. And he said it already, so I know we've already got the theme, right? The whole city speaking on one theme. On the count of 3, we're going to say it, right? Atlanta is a group project, right? And so as long as we keep doing that, that means do your part. I was the person who was in class with you in that group project who was like, "Hey, you're going to do your part. If you do your part, we get a lot further." So there's a saying that they say in church. If you want to go alone, you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, let's go together. It looks like we're moving together. I'm happy that that we get to announce $200 million in District 12, right? I'm extremely happy we get to announce $200 million in District 12. And when you think about some of the terms and some of the words that have been used today, you think about the city that you're in, right? And I'm thinking about Dr. King's house, the beloved community. Across the street from Dr. King's house were some apartments, low-income apartments, mixed community. Atlanta's been doing workforce, low-income, mixed communities. This is a mixed community. If you go to Adair Park right across the street, you spent time at Adair Park, right? About 15 years ago, that was just some dirt. This community grew. They invested in that park to turn it into what it is. Last year, we put a basketball court over there where we put paint on it. You see the basketball court? That's the growth. That's what she gets to see. And one day, there's a Mayor Dickens. There's a Odie Donald. There's a Antonio Lewis. There's a Courtney English. There's a Greg Clay in this building. In this building. And so that's what I'm so inspired about when we talk about the dirt in the south side of the city of Atlanta, that District 12 dirt and that $200 million. I can't wait till we spend some more and we cut some more ribbon. Let's go.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Courtney English. I serve as Chief Policy Officer for the City of Atlanta and senior advisor to Mayor Dickens. And we get caught up a lot of times in statistics. And we talk a lot about AMI and the numbers of this and the percentages of that. And it's real easy to forget that this is hard work. This is people work. This is about Ms. Freeman. Let's give her a round of applause. Yeah. For far too often, too many times in this city, folks like Ms. Freeman find themselves in a situation without. They find themselves in a situation where they have more month than they have money. They find themselves in a situation where they're lacking housing, where they're lacking access to health care, where they're lacking access to jobs that pay a living wage, where they're just simply lacking. And so today, we face that harsh truth. We got to talk about it in order to do the work of being about it, in order to fix it. We want to make Ms. Freeman's story, the first part of her story, infrequent in this city. We want to make the back end of her story more frequent. We want to make sure that she has a roof over her head, food in her belly, a job that pays a living wage, and a brighter future for her children. That's what today is about. So we got to talk about those harsh truths, but we also got to talk about a little bit of hope. Atlanta has always been a hopeful city. And today we have 200 million more reasons to be hopeful. We've got 200 million more reasons to believe that we can build a better future for Ms. Freeman. We've got 200 million more reasons to believe that we can close equity gaps, that we can raise wages, that we can make sure Atlanta is a city that works for everyone. You've heard me say it a lot, and I'll just say it one more time. The challenges ahead of us are great. We've got to face some stuff in this city. But there's nothing wrong with Atlanta that can't be solved by what's right with Atlanta. Right. And today is what's right with Atlanta. So look, we gon', for all y'all who are in and down for this hard work ahead of us, straighten up your back. Broaden your chest, right? Put your hard hat on. Get your lunch pail. Get your shovel ready, because we're coming. We're coming, Ms. Freeman. We're coming. A few years ago, a little known, not little known, but I should say, second-term city council person sat in the room along with Matt Westmoreland and Margie Stagmeyer and Bill Bolin. My friend Nathaniel Smith, who's not here, at least I don't see him today. Members from the Atlanta Housing Authority and a whole bunch of other folks came together, and we said we wanted to turn vacant school buildings into affordable housing units. And this is a product of that work. This is the first deal we got done as a product of that work, and it helped Ms. Freeman's life. And so I'm a little bit touched this morning, because this is a full circle moment for that council member named Andre Dickens. If y'all didn't catch that, it was him. And so we're so excited to be here. I want to close just by acknowledging members of the Mayor's Office of Policy. Josh Humphreys, raise your hand, who does a lot of the hard work. Please give him a round of applause. His housing team. I see all you. If you're a member of the Mayor's, David is standing right next to him. Okay. Shatiqua Ellison. I see Matt and Ian. And who else? All y'all, hold on, man. All y'all raise y'all hand. Who is back there? Chanel's back there in the bike. Janine Lewis is right here. I know I'm missing some folks. Who else? I can't see all y'all. How big is your office? It's huge. Janine, I got you. All right. If I missed you, I love you. I promise. But these are the folks who work every single day to build a brighter future. That office is mandated to take big shots, to swing big, to dream bigger for the city of Atlanta, and I couldn't be prouder of the work that we do every single day on behalf of this incredible mayor. So again, we got a lot of work to do. This is not just hard work, it's hard work. And so we're so very excited. We got 200 million reasons to be hopeful. So I love y'all. Let's go. Let's go.
All All right, so I'm ready to take questions from anyone. Sean, Keenan.
A lot of distressed properties in the city are technically. Oh, what's up? A lot of the distressed properties in the city are technically market rate. I think they are naturally occurring affordable housing because of where they are, because of the condition they're in. Talk to me about the safeguards that will prevent displacement as you're rehabilitating some of these properties around town.
I could answer that, but Courtney's been working on that directly. Go ahead.
So, can you say the question again, Sean?
Distress.
Yeah.
How are you going to prevent displacement as you're spending these hundreds of millions of dollars?
Yeah.
You guys had trouble moving people out of Forest Cove. You're going to have to put people places as you rehabilitate their homes.
Yeah.
So how do you prevent displacement?
We got to build as we climb. I think that's a multifaceted strategy that first and foremost begins with working with responsible landlords whose properties have fallen into disrepair and making sure they come up to code. And that's going to be a carrot and stick approach for those who want to do what's right, for responsible landlords like folks like Margie Stagmeyer and a few others here in the room. We're going to work with you, and we're going to be there to provide resources to help you get those properties back into good shape. For folks who make a different decision and choose to leave residents in deplorable living conditions, we're going to have a conversation with you too. For those folks, for those legacy residents who have been in Atlanta for quite some time but haven't had the opportunity to share in the growth of the city of Atlanta. I grew up 5 minutes in that direction in Oakland City. 5 minutes right over there. Antonio Lewis right down the street. Andre Dickens in Adamsville. I can go on and on and on. The point I'm making is we're going to deploy resources to ensure that you have opportunities to rehab your homes. We're going to deploy resources to make sure that folks who want to move into the neighborhood, who are of low income, can pay down payment assistance on their house, can pay down those interest rates so they can get in the neighborhood too. So it's a multifaceted approach that we're going to protect legacy residents while we use Atlanta's growth to push out those slumlords who aren't doing right by our folks, while we uplift those landlords who want to do right for our citizens.
Your next question here.
I have a question. I heard you mention land banks. Can you just talk about how they'll possibly be used to help preserve or even build possible units when it comes to this legislation?
Yeah, so the land bank is a vital part of our overall strategy. The land bank has acquired properties that were in distress, and now we have those properties that we can go to now to either renovate or to demolish and come back up with properties that we will control as affordable housing. We could do down payment assistance on those for individuals to be able to own those houses, working with Invest Atlanta. So the Land Bank Authority can help us in a number of ways, and they are already a part of our strike force, and we're utilizing their land to do more affordable housing on.
Next question.
Yes, I'm Maria Supporta, and this is for Frank and the mayor. I'm just trying to check my math. 100 million from Woodruff and Whitehead, 100 million from the city, as long as city council approves it. And Frank, correct me, isn't the Community Foundation committed to raising another 100 million, of which 32 has already been raised? Is that what you said? So that comes to 300 million? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, that is correct. So we are, as I said earlier, we're trying to raise 200 million total of private capital to go and complement Mary with public dollars. And so 100 million of that is philanthropic, 100 million of that is impact, and we've raised a little over 30 million towards that. And we've had other announcements with the mayor, with Wells Fargo, and Truist as other partners, as well as commitments that we've made as a foundation.
Last question.
Hi, my name is Beth Yates. I'm with 11 Alive. How much of the affordable housing properties that you are considering, what percentage of it is actually going to be for affordable housing, or is it all of the projects?
Yeah, good question. So in Atlanta, in most cases, we want to do mixed income properties where the school principal, the school teacher, and the school bus driver can live in the same community. But that way they have access to the same amenities, and their kids can grow and prosper in the same school and the same amenity area. And so a lot of these will be Any combination thereof. Some will be 20% affordable. Some will be 50% affordable. If they're senior housing, it could be 100% affordable. We don't want to do concentrated low income. We want to make sure that the only way we do that is generally with seniors. There may be a few exceptions in employer-owned housing. So that may be something for firefighters or police officers or teachers or some subset thereof. So I would say in most cases, each development will have some mixed income approach to it. And unless it's seniors or some certain classification of individual.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, good deal. Thank you. Thank you all. It's a great day. Jerry?